Welcome back to Second Extinction. In this video it's going to be more like a mini review because the game is still early access. It's literally just launched into early access. I played a few hours of this game on a live stream and I was absolutely loving it. It did feel a little bit repetitive within the first couple of missions, but just the fact that you can upgrade your gun, make yourself stronger, you can play with friends and stuff, it just made the game a lot more fun. I don't have too many complaints about this game at all, if I'm completely honest. If there were a couple of small complaints, it would just be that it's a very, very early build of early access. There's not much to the game. There are currently 6 missions available to play, although it does seem as though there will be multiple campaigns when the game is out of early access, because it says you can press A and D on your keyboard to switch between campaigns. The first one, and the only one available at the moment, is the Tundra campaign. And you basically jump into this mission. There are 4 classes that you can run, or 4 characters you can choose from, and they each have their own sort of weapons you can pick from. I was playing as a character called Rosie. She's got a minigun, or I think you can take a pistol. Or no, I think it's minigun and shotgun. And I chose to take the minigun, just wanted to feel like a badass and not have to reload often and stuff. The damage isn't too high with the minigun, although the fire rate is really high, so it kind of balances it out. You jump into the game, and on the very first mission, you have to go and interact with these hangars and find these drop ships. Basically save them from the dinosaurs. And I'd say the mission length for 3 of the 4 I played, I would say they were good, like half an hour to an hour missions. But the 4th one we played literally took us about 12 minutes. But then at the same time as that being kind of off, that it goes from a fairly long mission timer to a very short one, is good because there's variation. You're not always doing really long missions. You're not always doing really short missions. The voice lines are incredible. I absolutely loved Rosie's character. There was a couple of funny bits of dialogue here and there, although some of the voice acting was a little bit off. I think it's Sarah, your coordinator sort of person. She repeats some of the things that she says throughout missions, but you don't need to pay too much attention to that. I like what they've done with the research points. Research points are basically points you earn from killing dinos, completing objectives, and they will grant you the ability to purchase upgrade tokens and unlock the upgrades themselves so that you can upgrade your weapons, because each weapon has its own sort of upgrades. I'm going to say like a skill tree. You can basically unlock better handling, stability, and impact for your minigun. There are different perks like an increased ammo capacity. You can deal extra crit damage when there are enemies near your allies that are downed or something like that. There's a couple of cool features within that sort of upgrade section. The world is built up of several different regions, and once you go into a mission, you are free to explore wherever you want. If you take down these drones that are flying around, you can interact with them, and it will show you lots of points of interest, which are basically the objectives. They are all optional. There will be hollows, there will be crashed drop ships, you have to go and find a black box for them. There will be camps and stuff. There's a few different types of optional objectives. And as I said, they're all going to earn you research points. So I would do a little bit of exploring whilst you're doing missions and see what cool stuff you can find. There's also things like radar relays and stuff. So you jump into a mission, you start doing your optional objectives, you do your primary objective. There is, there's basically different threat levels within some of the regions. And if you go into the hardest of the territories, you can get bosses, or I'm going to call them bosses. Basically, you'll get bigger dinosaurs, one that looks like a trike or a triceratops, another one that is a T-Rex. The T-Rex, I would say it needs maybe 1 or 2 extra weak points. In my opinion, currently there's only the throat as the weak point, and it's tough to get to, it's very well protected. And not only that, this T-Rex will spawn loads of little raptors. The boss fights are insane, and I did put a video up for one of those recently. But you go in, you do your missions and your objectives and stuff, and then you have to head to an extraction point. At an extraction point, your whole team has to be there. You interact with the little satellite thing to let them know where you want the dropship to come in and pick you up. Then you have to defend that area for I think it's 90 seconds, a minute and a half. Then your dropship comes in, you all jump in, that's the end of the mission. That is pretty much all I have for it. As I said, there's not too many negatives with the game. It's just that it's incredibly small at the moment. Although you can find a roadmap, it will explain a little bit what's going on. The developers have a Twitter account and stuff. They will be adding different like mutated dinosaurs, because the dinosaurs aren't just normal dinos, they're mutated. They do like these weird like karate flips and stuff, like they're crazy. But they will be adding new dinos in, new events. They will have a fully like free roam sort of like arena area, whatever you want to call it. You can basically just go in and do whatever you want to do. I'm guessing there'll be like secondary objectives and stuff you can do in there, or the ones that are optional when you're running the main mission, but you'll have all of those to do in a free roam. As well as that, just a little tip as well, when you are running missions on this game, you have a star rating as like your score. If you build up your research points from doing optional objectives and stuff, you will increase your star rating. I recommend trying to get that 5-star for every single mission. Sometimes like there are a couple of UI bugs here and there. The contracts don't seem to track properly. But once you return to the main menu, you'll see that the contracts did complete if you actually did the requirements. But the UI also doesn't really show you a 5-star rating. I believe it's 2,000 research points for the 5-star, because we got just over 2,000 and we got a 5-star rating. And basically the higher your rating, the better reward crates you get at the end. They're not like loot boxes or anything, they're just simply you get a reward crate and it's going to open up and give you some of the different resources available in the game. Because when you are killing dinosaurs, it's not just, oh, you kill a dinosaur and that's it. There are different resources that drop off them, which are also used alongside research points to upgrade your weapons. But that's pretty much it for now. I'll be keeping an eye on the roadmap. As I said, there's a few good things coming in. There's going to be like a horde mode at some point as well. I'm not sure how long they plan to have it in early access. They said that they're kind of going for like a standard live service sort of thing, but they will be doing bug fixes. They're very, very good with their community. I left them some feedback on their Twitter about the bug with the UI not working and tracking your contracts properly. They got straight back to me, actually sent me a DM and said, like, could you give us more info? So I left them a nice little message and said, like, I'm player level 5, gave them my Steam ID, said this is exactly what's happening. They said they're going to pass it on to the devs straight away, so hopefully they can do like hot fixes and stuff. If there are big problems, the UI not tracking a contract isn't a big problem. So I would just say that hopefully it gets fixed in one of their like planned updates, but they want it to be like a live service sort of thing. They want the community involved, which is amazing. You don't see too many developers doing that nowadays. And if you are interested in this game, there will be a link in the description. It's £19.50, so about £20 on Steam. And just so that you guys are aware, as they progress through their development and they eventually get the game to the full release will cost more than the early access currently does. So if you are interested, I would pick it up now, or see if there's going to be a little sale at some point or something. But don't wait too long if you plan to play this, because when it does go to full release, no matter how long it takes, the price of the game will increase. So far, just based off the early access, it's not long at all. You're probably going to get, depending on how much exploration and how many optional objectives you're doing, you probably get about 5-6 hours out of it for the time being. But for that early access, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I did thoroughly enjoy my time. Characters were nice to play with, they were cool. As I said, voices, like voice acting and stuff was very good. A couple of funny lines thrown in there, which was nice to hear, and it's not all like cringy and stuff. Although there could be a little bit of tweaking with some of the dialogue during missions from the coordinator sort of person, Sarah. She kind of repeats herself a little bit, but that's nothing to worry about, and I'm pretty sure the devs will iron all the little problems out as they progress in development. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I'd recommend playing this game. I definitely enjoyed myself, and I'll be back, as I said, when they've released a little bit more content. So that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.